You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday, happy Venus Day, and happy birthday to quite a few notable Geminis. Kendrick Lamar celebrates a birthday today. Yet another rapper who is a Gemini. Venus Williams celebrates her birthday on June 17th. Amari Cooper has a birthday today. Over the weekend, Paul McCartney, another famous Gemini known for his lyrics. If you've watched that Beatles special, I believe it's on Disney Plus. His lyrics, you watch him compose them back in the 60s, just amazing. Let's see who else has a birthday over the weekend. On Sunday, Boris Johnson is a Gemini, and Zoe Saldana. So if you're a Gemini, if someone you know is a Gemini, let me know so we can celebrate them in the comments. Today is the day, Heather. We're sending you all of the good energy, picturing the highest possible outcome for you. Hi, Rachel. Thank you for being here. So if you are new here, we're going to walk through the energy of the weekend, transit by transit, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then at the end, we will do a 3-card tarot pull to see if anything else needs to come through. I love this. Everybody's sending Heather good vibes. The community we're building here is just next level, you guys. All right, so let's talk about the current energy. The sun is in Gemini, the moon is in Aquarius. So we're really feeling that air energy today, maybe even a little bit flighty. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments, but I've had a lot of coffee, so I'm really feeling that Gemini energy of like boop, 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 you know. And the Aquarius moon is interesting because it's all about the collective, and we like to feel like we're part of something bigger, but we also like our independence and our space. Aquarius energy is so interesting. And so you might feel over the next day or so just a little bit more emotionally detached, and we'll go through all of that transit by transit, but I would love to know how you are feeling. And I will say this weekend sets the stage for some big realizations in relationships. We're going to be talking a lot about Venus, as well as our friends Saturn and Neptune yet again. Saturn and Neptune both at 25 degrees in Aquarius and Pisces respectively. So as you're watching, maybe you're joining me live, grab your birth chart and see what's going on around 25 degrees in Aquarius or Pisces for you. Or even what's going on around 25 degrees in mutable or fixed signs. Is there anything major in your chart? Because that's what's going to be activated the most this weekend, especially when it comes to how we relate to other people. So let's just dive right in and let's talk about what's happening today. The moon is in Aquarius, and that's all today. No major connections. Not to say it's going to be a boring day by any means, but we're just focusing on the Aquarius moon. Just a refresher, the Aquarius moon does keep us more open to new perspectives. Although we're more emotionally detached, we also can take that distance to be able to see things from afar and have some emotional recognition of things that we can't see when we're necessarily in them. Do you ever notice that when you take space from a situation, sometimes you can see it more clearly? That is definitely Aquarius energy. And as we talked about, we like to be around like-minded people. in Aquarius energy, whether that's in person or virtually. We like to feel like we're part of a community. It's like we can find commonalities while still appreciating what makes us unique and different and what makes other people unique and different too. So this isn't a really lovey-dovey, touchy-feely, affectionate time, especially with the air energy. I think we're all going to be more prone to taking in information, maybe having conversations. I could even see like a lot of conversations around like conspiracy theories with the moon in Aquarius. People like to talk about the weird or just interact about the weird with the moon in Aquarius. Overnight, 1 a.m., the moon formed a sextile to Jupiter. So a lot of us were probably sleeping during this transit, but maybe if you live on the East Coast or in another part of the world, you woke up this Friday with a surge of energy. Or on Thursday night, you might have had a hard time falling asleep because Jupiter just brings energy and optimism to any transit it's part of. So this could have made for, like I said, some pleasant dreams, but the boost of energy could have also given you like a little surge of excitement late night last night that maybe made you want to stay up later, or you could have found yourself waking up in the middle of the night. But whatever that looked like for you, it was probably a good feeling, an optimistic feeling. We're more generous, more outgoing when the moon forms a sextile to Jupiter. So maybe you were really generous in your dreams last night. Or if you remember your dreams, maybe they were especially sweet or pleasant. Okay, this evening, so the moon stays pretty quiet all day this Friday. 1 a.m. was the first connection. Almost could say that's a Thursday transit. We don't have another connection with the Aquarius moon until 6 p.m. Pacific time, so late Friday night for some parts of the world. And take a look at the chart because there's a few different connections happening all at the same time. The Aquarius moon over here will form a sextile to Mars and Chiron right around the same time because remember Chiron and Mars are pulling away from that conjunction we talked about earlier in the week. And side note, a lot of you were feeling that Mars-Chiron conjunction. That video on my YouTube page is one of my most watched videos. People were definitely feeling that triggered activation earlier this week. And if that was you, I feel you. I was there too. And, you know, Mars and Chiron are still within 2 degrees of each other today. So there could be these things that we're still kind of sorting through, these triggers that we're still making sense of. And the Aquarius moon can help us do that and see a different perspective, especially as the Aquarius moon forms a sextile to both of these planets at 6 p.m. But something else happens at the same time. Mars is forming a semi-sextile to Uranus. So they're one sign away from each other. They don't have anything in common. They're not really connecting with each other. It's like Mars and Aries, this raw motivation is almost setting the stage for a change that's going to happen either to our physical environment or our values in the future. It's like Mars is setting up the energy for Uranus, if that makes sense, because you can see them here on the chart. One sign away from each other. But that means when the moon connects with Mars and Chiron, it's also forming a square to Uranus, okay? Now, with that being said, this can make us a little bit more quick to react today. Even with this sextile to Mars, the moon gives us more energy as we head into our Friday night. It's like, it's go time. It's go mode when the moon forms a sextile to Mars. We get this almost urgent need to do something tonight. But at the same time, the square to Uranus takes that to the next level and makes us crave a thrill or crave excitement. And with Chiron in the mix, you know, when Chiron's in the mix, there is an element of being triggered, especially with Chiron and Aries. So it's like we have this urge to get out of our comfort zone when the Aquarius moon squares off to Uranus. Both of these energies like new and different experiences, they're comfortable getting out of their comfort zone, right? But Chiron and Aries can, you know, sometimes when we put ourselves out there, it brings up triggers, right? When we venture into the unfamiliar, there are sirens that go off in our body that are like, oh my gosh, this is scary. So that could happen tonight. And anytime the moon squares off to Uranus, emotionally, we're more prone to outbursts, upsets. Uranus is the planet of disruption. So this Friday night, there could be some sort of disruption, and it might even be a little bit aggressive with Mars forming a sextile to the moon too. So it's like this transit gives us plenty of energy. We're willing to do something, even at the drop of a hat. We get an invite on a Friday night. We're like, yes, we're ready to go. We're open to surprises and spontaneity, but too much excitement isn't always a good time. You know, you could even find yourself like, I'm going to go out this Friday night if that's your thing. And you're thinking it's going to be a great night, and then there's like a bar fight or something like that. That's kind of the energy I'm seeing this Friday night. Now, at midnight on Friday, the moon is going to square off to the north and south node. So let's just jump ahead 12 hours here so you can kind of see this on the chart. The moon, when it hits 20 degrees, so it's close, will square off to both the north node and the south node. This is called a T-square, and the moon is that pivotal point in the T-square. So, you know, the north and south nodes aren't planets, they're minor points along the moon's path. However, this T-square could feel like an emotional turning point as the moon is that pivotal point, you know, that tip of the triangle, if you will. I hope that makes sense. So this could be like a critical moment along our journey where it feels like we have to let go of something in the past in order to step in the future. But with a moon in open-minded Aquarius, this can bring a shift in perception. So really just staying open to new information, open to new insights. Now is that releasing point to say like, okay, these triggers that came up, we've learned a lot this week, we're ready to let go. Remember, the moon in Aquarius is coming into its peak releasing phase. So this is really a time of introspection, of sorting things out emotionally. And the Aquarius moon helps us see new perspectives. So it's really a beautiful moment that the transits are setting up for, especially really late this Friday night. It's like you could even be in the middle of that disruption we talked about, and it could just be something that clicks that's like, yeah, this isn't meant for me anymore. Or with all of this happening in fixed signs, it's like it could be a breakthrough emotional moment, you know, that just all of a sudden you see things differently, especially when we're talking about the north node being so close to Uranus. It's like we're looking to the future. The moon in Aquarius is very future focused as well. We're ready to innovate. We're ready to do it differently. And it could just be an emotional situation today that is, I don't want to say the nail in the coffin because it's not that negative, but it's just the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, we're ready to move on. All right, what's everybody saying in the chat? Saturn in Aquarius at 13 degrees. All right, so you're through your Saturn return, but something for you to keep in mind this morning is that the moon's probably going to be transiting over your Saturn. So that could just bring a little bit of emotional awareness to the lessons you've been learning. Chiron, 15 degrees, Neptune, 21 degrees, Aquarius. So Heather, same thing for you, but the moon's going to transit over your Chiron at the same time that all of that Mars-Uranus activation is happening tonight. And so, you know, that could bring up some emotional awareness to these changes that are happening, these disruptions that are happening for you. But remember, Uranus doesn't have to be a negative disruption. It can bring an innovation, and it could bring a new perspective for you. But you might just, I could see you having like a lot of energy or even a healing moment for you with the moon transiting over your Chiron. Neptune at 21 degrees Aquarius, that probably will bring vivid dreams for you tonight because the moon will be transiting over that point in your chart tonight. Let's see, Virgo and Pisces, 25, Libra, Aries, 24. Okay, so those Virgo Pisces placements for you, Ken, will, let me think about this. Oh, I'm kidding. The Libra Aries placements for you will likely be activated more today with that Mars-Chiron conjunction. That's probably been, I mean, that's inching close to whatever's going on in Aries for you. So, you know, just something to keep in mind that there could be triggers still coming up for you as Mars moves closer to those Aries placements. It's been super tense this past week, but this morning I feel more hopeful and like everything will be okay. That's because it will, Rachel. And just wait till the end of the forecast. The end of the weekend brings a lot more hope. And Monday will be the final quarter moon, this like point of release. And so, there's a lot of, like I said, processing that we're doing right now about all the things that came up this past week. And it feels like a lot came up for a lot of people, especially I think that Mars Chiron conjunction and all the activation with Saturn and Neptune too. But people got triggered this week, myself included, and so just be patient with yourself. Having vivid dreams, hopeful, but not really going to happen. Maybe you're not a vivid dreamer. I rarely have vivid dreams, but that's something I want to try to, it's a skill I want to hone. I want to keep a dream journal and got to get a nighttime routine down. There are people who can like astral travel, and something I did learn from a friend, just for anybody who's interested, a little tangent here, is in your waking life, if you pull your finger and make that a regular habit, when you're dreaming, you can do the same thing. And if your finger kind of like, is like pulling and doing weird things and not looking like a normal finger, that's how you know you're dreaming. And then you're more like in control of the dream and you can be almost the narrator of it and like lead yourself through it. So I'm not there yet in my dream space, but just a little tip I thought I'd pass along for those of you who have major Pisces placements or you're vivid dreamers. Super vivid dreams last night with spiders. I love spiders. Okay, Katie, I love that you just said this because the moon was forming a sextile to Jupiter, as I said. So like sweet dreams or optimistic dreams, positive dreams. But Jupiter is also the planet of abundance. And something I read is that spiders are a sign of abundance. And I told that to my partner. And now every time there's a spider in the house, he's like, abundance. I'm like, can you take that abundance outside, please? Like, I am not comfortable with that abundance here. But now we're just like, okay, there's a spider. We must be abundant. So I had to share that because pretty on point with the transits. Okay, let's talk about our Saturday. We have two major transits coinciding with one another on Saturday. The same thing we've been talking about earlier in the week. When a planet connects with one planet, it's connecting with another. When one planet connects with Saturn, it's connecting with Neptune because they're both at 25 degrees. So when Venus hits that 25-degree point, she is the one that gets this double connection. And her first connection will be to Saturn on Saturday afternoon, 2:31 p.m. Now, what's really interesting is, how can I explain this without getting too ahead of myself? Venus squares Saturn while the moon is in Aquarius, and Venus is squaring Saturn in Aquarius, right? And then the moon moves into Pisces and Venus forms a sextile to Neptune in Pisces. So our Saturday almost feels like it's happening in two parts. The first part being a little bit more skeptical, a little bit more cold, maybe even tense, bringing up some lessons or some harsh realizations during this transit. And then the next transit we'll talk about brings a lot more soft, hopeful, beautiful energy. So I want to preface that because good things are coming in the forecast, but it might feel a little intimidating as we start this. So let's show you what this looks like on the chart really quick, just so you can get a visualization. We'll jump ahead and you can see Saturday afternoon, the moon, well, you'll see when we talk about the moon will meet up with Saturn, and Venus is almost at 25 degrees here, but you'll see her form a sextile, or excuse me, a square to Saturn, right, in these fixed signs, and then a sextile to Neptune. Lots of connections happening this Saturday and lots of Neptune-Saturn activation. As we've talked about with Neptune and Saturn, it's really nice that they're both at the same degree right now because Saturn is the great malefic. It's like, this is what you need to do. It's very matter of fact. It can be a little bit harsh, negative, bring up fears, bring up doubts. Neptune is the planet of universal love. Everything's beautiful. We're kind of caught in this dreamland. We're able to be compassionate and empathetic. We're overly feeling, whereas with Saturn, we're feeling nothing. So these energies really balance each other out nicely. And as with everything in astrology, there are no coincidences. Thank you, universe, for giving us these transits at the same time. So let's start with this square between Venus and Saturn 2:30 Pacific time Saturday afternoon could bring up these fears or, you know, make us revisit lessons we've learned in relationships, especially with Saturn retrograde. There's an element of review here. It's like we're checking the stability of our relationships, but with a square, with this 90-degree angle, that process might not feel nice. And this can be relationships as in romantic relationships, but it could also be friendships, partnerships. We are more cold and detached when relating to others under this square because Saturn is cold and detached. The moon is still in Aquarius. We're not really in that compassionate mode just yet. So alone time, distance might actually feel more appealing on the first part of the day, Saturday. We might even feel a little bit more selfish, thinking of our own needs rather than the needs of our partners or our friends. And this could even just bring slight conflict in relationships. And sometimes conflict is the greatest teacher. Unfortunately, it's not fun going through it, but Venus in Taurus wants comfort, it wants pleasure, it wants stability in a lot of ways. Saturn in Aquarius, or Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, I should say, is all about making sure that the foundation of our relationships, even our finances with Venus in Taurus, Venus ruling our money, it's like really making sure that the structure in place right now in those areas of our life can take us into the future. Aquarius energy is very future focused. Saturn is very future focused, but with it retrograde, we're really in that review mode. Like, what is going to be solid enough to take us into the future? And you could even be questioning your relationships, friendships, romantic partnerships, business partnerships. Like, is this person solid? Is this what I really want? Is this going to last the test of time? So you might even just feel more skeptical, more doubtful. Fears could definitely come up during this. Don't take them at face value and wait until a little later in the day before you make any judgments, because we're going to be a little bit more on the negative side during this transit. But at 9 p.m., the moon forms that sextile to Neptune. So the second part of the day, the evening on Saturday night, it's like, thank goodness for Neptune. This is the planet of dreams, and it's really softening that Saturnian energy. By the end of the day, Saturday, we are able to align with our sensitivities. We're able to lean into love. You know, Neptune is said to be like the higher octave of Venus. So it's taking that Venusian energy of love, beauty, money, balance, harmony, and just taking it to the next level of universal love, oneness, feeling how other people feel. Neptune is very empathetic, or empathic even. And so you know, it's like when we're relating to others on Saturday night, we go from feeling cold and like really focusing on our own individual needs with Venus squaring Saturn. By the end of the day, it's like, oh, okay, I can feel other people's needs. I can feel how they feel, and it makes it easier to relate to them and to give them what they need as well. We're more nurturing. I will say, when Venus forms a sextile to Neptune on Saturday night, go out dancing, listen to some music. Creativity is amazing on Saturday night when these two planets connect in these signs. We're really sensual as well, which is why I say like leaning into dance or something about moving our body or using our body to express creativity would be a perfect way to use this transit. You might even like go out dancing with friends or with a partner, because it creates this environment where you're all leaning into this loving energy, and it can help you with your connection. Or, you know, I almost see this as those come up earlier in the day, but by the end of the day, remember why we're in this partnership, why we're in this friendship. We have these moments that allow us to see the bigger picture, and it's almost like we align with our spirit again. You know, that part of us, it's like, oh yes, we're being guided, we're being led, this is all perfect. All those fears and doubts can just go away for a moment, and we can just enjoy the human experience a little bit more. So wait until Saturday night if you're feeling doubtful. If you're still feeling like doubtful or like this isn't working, by the end of the weekend, there might be something there, but your mind, your heart could play some tricks on you on Saturday morning. The moon spends the morning in Aquarius on Saturday. So we're really craving that freedom, that independence, that individuality. We're a little more emotionally detached. We're taking our space so we can process things, see fears from afar and not be in them. And we're really more concerned with the Aquarius moon, how we will feel in the future rather than how we feel right now. It's, I noticed this with my partner who has an Aquarius moon. He's very like, how am I going to feel moving forward? How can I like almost prevent feeling bad in the future? But sometimes that takes us out of the present moment. So really trying to stay present and trying to honor your own needs, but make sure you're not being too cold or cutting anyone off under the Aquarius moon. On Saturday at 6 a.m., the moon squares Venus. So we could wake up on Saturday morning feeling a strong need for pleasure, almost an impulsive need to have our needs met. It's like our need for independence under the Aquarius moon clashes with our desire for sensual connection with Venus and Taurus. So when these two planets are in a 90-degree angle with each other, it can feel really uncomfortable in relationships, fueling that doubt, that fear, that questioning of, is this really what we want? Again, just know that the moon is making these uncomfortable connections, and don't take everything at face value. Just a couple hours later at 8 a.m., the moon forms that conjunction to Saturn that I showed you on the chart and forms a semi-sextile to Neptune. So what I'm saying essentially is on Saturday morning, the moon is connecting to both Saturn and Neptune, as you can see here. And when the moon forms a conjunction to Saturn, it's just further playing into that energy of wanting to be alone, being more doubtful, being more negative, seeing the negative side of things, honestly. We can be more practical and more sober in our emotional awareness, but it can just feel like a damper on our emotions, making us feel like more isolated, disconnected. Finding compassion at this point of the day on Saturday morning feels like a reach, a temporary reach. We'll get there by the end of the day, but it's like we're just not quite there. We just kind of want to be alone in our own stable environment where we feel comfortable, and it doesn't really matter how anyone else feels on Saturday morning. But really watch for fear and doubt. Now, the energy starts to change around noon on Saturday because the final connection the Aquarius moon makes is a trine to the sun in Gemini. So the moon and sun connect in this beautiful 120-degree angle, and both of them in air signs just make us feel more social, more outgoing. We're coming out of our shell a little bit more. We're also more confident. We're more eager to learn as well, with the moon in Aquarius wanting us to see different perspectives, the sun in Gemini bringing in new information. We want to be around other people. We want to learn new things. We can easily express our emotions, our innermost emotions outwardly, even those fears and those feelings that we've been processing on our own. By midday, we're starting to spark conversations about, hey, this is how I've been feeling. Have you been feeling this way too? And being a little bit more open to relating to other people. Okay, but things start to get really good, really juicy when the moon moves into Pisces on Saturday afternoon. And thank goodness, seriously, thank goodness. So the moon is now in Pisces on our chart here, and the moon in Pisces stays fairly quiet for the rest of the weekend. When the moon is in Pisces, it's a really great time for release and for rest, but it's also a beautiful time to lean into creativity. Our intuition is heightened with the moon in Pisces. It's like we're returning to our sensitivities and we're feeling that compassion again. It can almost feel like you had shut yourself off from feeling things earlier in the day, and that door opens up and you have like this flood of emotions again. I don't think it would be an overwhelming flood of feelings, but we're more tapped into those senses, and we're also more aware of how other people feel, similar to what we talked to when Venus and Neptune connect. It's like the first part of the day is Aquarius energy, the second part of the day is Pisces energy. At midnight, the moon squares off to Mercury. So late Saturday night, even early into Sunday morning, depending on where you live, it's like our sensitive emotions, those really delicate feelings, are clashing with our rational mind. Mercury in Gemini is like more information, go, 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 do. We're very busy. The moon in Pisces is like, whoa, girl, we need some rest. We need time to integrate and feel all the feelings and like really sort through these things, maybe do our meditation practice. We got to slow down. So it's almost as if Saturday night, you could feel, if you're still out around midnight, you could feel like your body saying, okay, it's time to go home. It's time to rest. It's time to, be out of an environment that's super stimulating. Whereas your mind, ruled by Mercury in Gemini, is like, keep it going, keep learning, keep bringing the information, spark a new conversation. So this could create a little bit of irritability, tension. It's like our heart wants to give others the benefit of the doubt, wants to have a beautiful experience, but our mind is like, we need more information first. So this just can feel like tension in a lot of ways. Listen to your body on Saturday night. If you're feeling depleted, I would not recommend staying out and pushing, even though your mind is telling you to. It's like, this also feels like FOMO. You're out and you're getting tired and your body's like, okay, let's go home. And your mind is like, no, but I don't want to miss this conversation. I want to hear the end of the conversation, or I didn't get to talk to this person. So this could also come across as, if you are out and you're still feeling it, like an intense need to express opinions and ideals. Like we almost want to project our opinions onto other people, or like we can feel the tension of other people. So we're like trying to be a little bit more in control by speaking our mind. Just looks like tension in a lot of ways when the moon squares Mercury, even just anxiety or mental tension. So wouldn't be a bad idea to call it a night a little early on Saturday night. We're still, even in some parts of the world, feeling this energy on Sunday morning. So the moon will be in Pisces all day on Sunday. It's actually setting the stage for a really restful time to slow down and feel all the feelings. Sometimes it takes us stopping and giving our body rest to really process everything that we've gone through in the past week, or even in the past moon cycle. The moon will be the final quarter moon on Monday I think Monday, maybe Tuesday. The final quarter moon will be in Aries, but we're definitely feeling the release on Sunday. And we can gain a lot of closure and healing on Sunday with the moon in Pisces, letting our emotions flow out of us, finding more healing. It's just listening to your body, giving it what it needs, and also being aware of your own energy and not taking the emotion of others. That can be really easy to do under a Pisces moon. So we start the day or overnight with the moon squaring off to Mercury, this underlying tension overnight. But the moon is really quiet all day on Sunday. It doesn't make any connections until 10 p.m. Pacific time. So for parts of the world, it could feel like an extremely quiet Sunday, like no connections are being made. Maybe a little bit of anxiety in the morning, but nothing else the rest of the day. For those of us here on the West Coast, the moon forms a sextile to Uranus at 10 p.m. And so this is interesting. It kind of gives us a little boost of excitement, or allows us to lean into a little bit of excitement about the week ahead. It's a supportive angle, so we do have to be willing to open our mind a little bit and lean into it, but it's like, this week could be fun. This week could bring something new. We're kind of looking to the future. And as we're in this releasing phase, it's like we're closing an emotional door, and there is hope and promise of new energy about the future as well. So I think Rachel was saying, I'm starting to feel more hopeful. That will definitely keep unfolding throughout the weekend. And I think by the end of the weekend, it's like, it's not even just a hopeful energy. It's more like, ooh, we know something exciting is around the corner. And if we're willing to feel it and lean into it, it's going to, you might even feel like a little boost of like, ooh, I don't even know what's coming, but I'm excited for the unexpected. We're open to more unusual experiences, even fated experiences. Sunday night into Monday morning, it's like someone could slide into your DMs, or some sort of like technology component potentially with Uranus being involved. It's just like we're ready for a week, and regardless of what it brings, we're like something weird might happen this week, but bring it on. We're excited about it, you know? So that's kind of the energy of Sunday night. We can release under the Pisces moon and almost clear space for new, exciting experiences for the future, with Uranus representing the future. So definitely a different energy by the end of the weekend where we're not even super present. It's like, okay, let's just take a moment to rest and relax on Sunday, so we're ready for exciting opportunities on Monday. All right, quick question. So my Venus is right on top of my ascendant in Libra. Okay, beautiful. What does that mean? Venus connections may affect me more. I see that as, you know, with Venus in Libra, it's right at home in Libra. I don't know. I mean, I think I've seen a picture of you on Instagram. I would say that makes you beautiful. But also, like, Venus is your chart ruler in more ways than one. Not only because you're a Libra rising, and that means that Venus is the ruler of your chart, but Venus is right there in your first house. So showing up, beauty is probably really important to you in your appearance. You like to feel beautiful. You like to look beautiful, but you also probably try to create beauty all around you all the time. That probably feels like part of your purpose. Like, I need to create beautiful environments. I could even see like luxury for you. Like, I want to have nice, beautiful things in my life. And so every action I take, how I show up in the world is calling in that energy. I think that's a really incredible placement to have Venus on top of your ascendant. Also, relationships are probably very important to you. I know you talk a lot about relationships in the chat, like with your partner or with your family members. So a lot of how you identify is how you relate to other people as well. Hi, Danny. So Goddess Night Out is our summer solstice disco this Saturday night. It is an event for women or, for anyone, regardless of how you identify your gender identity, but anyone wanting to feel into feminine energy, anybody who wants to feel like a woman for the night. So we do want to be inclusive, and we understand people identify all different ways, but this is a safe space we're creating for women or anyone who wants to feel like a woman for the night. Oh, this is comforting, as Sunday is our grandpa's funeral. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for your loss, first of all, but a Pisces moon for a funeral, like, I just got chills. Pisces is a very religious, spiritual energy as well, and marks endings, closure, release. So honestly, such a beautiful moon to hold a funeral under or hold a memorial service under. And I think you'll probably feel your grandpa, like his spirit there, very strongly on Sunday. I think it's going to mark the end of a chapter for your family in so many ways, but, just really beautiful. And I would recommend, which is easy to do at funerals, like, let yourself feel it all. And if you are a spiritual person, you were connected to your grandpa, like, invite that connection in on Sunday. I would even, if it was me personally, because I'm a little weird, I would even be like having mental conversations with him during the service, like just letting him come in and be with you there. What a beautiful day to hold a memorial service. Seriously, I think you will feel him and maybe even members of your family who passed on there with you to all honor his life, and just a beautiful releasing point, ending of a chapter. But yes, thank you everyone for sending Rose some love and support. It's not an easy thing to go to when someone transitions. So yeah, yes, Ken, lean into it. I know Pisces energy going to probably be in your 7th house, actually, because you're a Virgo rising, if I remember correctly. So the moon in Pisces could feel like a little bit of hope or healing when it comes to relationships for you. I keep reading about deception. I don't know if it was from Neptune, probably, yeah, but watch out for deception, which has me worried. I would say to you, Heather, don't worry so much about the deception. I wouldn't give people 100% benefit of the doubt. Like, I think it's okay if there is some sort of opportunity presented to say, like, hey, can we think this over and give you an answer on Monday? Or like, can we hash out the details next week and like really allow yourself to have some processing time? I wouldn't be too quick to dive into anything. But I think I wouldn't worry too much about it. With Venus forming a sextile to Neptune, creativity, trust, that's all favored. So, you know, yes, we can be a little bit skeptical, but don't let that overwhelm you. Really, I would say, yes, the transits are a beautiful way to navigate energy, and they're a beautiful way to kind of experience our lives. But also remember, you're at the wheel. You are a co-creator of your reality. Visualize, picture the highest possible outcome. Hold that vision today. When that doubt and fear comes up, that's okay. But you can say, I don't subscribe to that timeline. This is what I'm calling in. This is the vision I'm holding. Manifest what you want to happen. And then say like, this or better. That's what my mentor taught me. This is what I want to happen or better. So you're giving the universe like a sign, like, coming along, I'm open to that too. And that kind of puts us in a more empowering state rather than like, oh, what's going to happen? Which I know you've been waiting for a while, so I feel you. So crazy how accurate it is. I'm an artist. I love to encourage people through my art. Yes, creativity being part of your identity, definitely with Venus on the ascendant. Relationships very important to you, and just trying to create beauty through art. I love that so much. Oh, and your moon is in Pisces, so you'll be having your lunar return. I could see a lot of emotional release for you around relationships Sunday into Monday, so just know that that might come up, but also a beautiful healing opportunity as well. Oh, good. I'm sending you good energy this Sunday, Rose. I'll be thinking about you and honoring your family, and I think if you're here, there's probably part of you that's spiritual or believes in, you know, other realms, other dimensions, and just know that just because your grandpa isn't here on the physical plane anymore doesn't mean that you can't connect with him still. So sending you love and grace as you go into this next chapter of your life and of your family dynamic. Oh, they have until Friday the 24th for the decision. Of course, they're going to extend it out, right? Just hold that vision, Heather. Hold the vision. Oh, so they'll be working it out next week. This might be a time for you, like release. Yeah, thank you for all of your beautiful comments for Rose. Just hold the vision, hold the hope, and release the grip. Sometimes we get what we want when we let go of the need for it to happen. Because when we're in that space of like, oh, I want this to happen so much, we're actually creating resistance. When we're just like, okay, universe, this or better, whatever happens, happens, we're in that energy of attraction and things can start to happen a little bit more easily for us. And, you know, I think this is a beautiful point to bring up the affirmation for the weekend. This is something, it's not original. You guys have seen this on card pulls and stuff before. I am a spirit having a human experience. I really feel this is something we can all come back to this weekend because with all the Neptune activation, we're very much in spirit mode. We're like feeling all the things. We understand there's more than just this lifetime, this physical body that we're in. But Saturn is like, no, this is the human experience, okay? Like, these are the lessons you're here to learn as a human. These are the things you have to work through in relationships. Very much that human experience. So just remember, if things are tough, that you are a spirit. You made of stardust. You can manifest. You are light. You know, the higher you raise your vibration, the more good things come to you. And if you're having a moment, that human experience, that's why we're here. We're here to feel the things. We're here to have a human experience. And sometimes that can be a little bit uncomfortable, you know, but that's all right. Okay, let's do our 3-card tarot pull. I'm going to pull from the Modern Witch Oracle deck, which means I need my little guidebook open because your girl is not a tarot reader. I just like to read the guidebook and see what comes through. As always, this is your time to ask questions. Let me know any other final thoughts you have about the forecast. You have Uranus in Pisces at 18 degrees. Okay, so when the moon moves Actually, when the moon in Pisces forms a sextile to Uranus, your Uranus is getting support from the current Uranus right now. That's a lot of change, but it's supporting. It's a supportive aspect. So this change is supporting the highest outcome and is supporting your future. And there could be an emotional moment around that when the moon passes over your Uranus. Like you're ready for change and you're feeling all the feelings around change. Just don't, out of maybe anxiety, don't like create your own disruptions to try to be in control. Because anytime, I like to say that anytime we're talking about Uranus, it can be really tempting when the moon's involved to like create your own excitement because you just want to move to the future. You want something to happen. North node at 10 degrees in Pisces. Ooh, all of this in the 12th house. Lots of healing for you, I think, when the moon is in Pisces. Healing moments, new perspectives, looking to the future. Just know Uranus is uncomfortable. It's discomfort, but it's also looking out for our future self, our best self, innovating, doing things differently, finding new ways, new routes. So you're probably going to really be feeling the energy of change by the beginning of next week, Heather. I don't know if I mentioned who I was talking to, but yes, talking to you. Okay, let's see what needs to come through. Everybody take a deep breath together. If you're joining me live, breathe in and release. What do we need to know? Friday card is the Four of Cups. Oh, it's a girl with a sweatshirt on that says over it. So I think some of us are feeling that. Saturday is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And Sunday is the Empress. We love the Empress. Okay, let's start with our Friday card, the Four of Cups. One moment while I get to it in the guidebook. Here we go. Let's see. Got to get through all the face cards first. I do love the digital guidebook, but it takes a little longer to get through. Okay, Four of Cups, our Friday card. Life is full of disappointments, imperfections, and unhappiness. Ooh, you might be feeling super cynical lately, like nothing ever goes your way and the cards are stacked against you. But that negativity isn't going to get you anywhere, and dwelling too long on regrets or failures isn't healthy. If you just change your outlook, start saying yes instead of no to the world, you will find there's still support and beautiful things waiting. So this really feels like the Aquarius moon, you know, taking that distance, feeling a little bit more isolated or emotionally detached, seeing things from afar and feeling a little bit more cynical or skeptical. The Aquarius moon can do that to us. If you are feeling this way, like it's not going how I want it to this Friday, just know that just by changing your perception, your mindset, you can raise your vibration, call in beautiful things. So, you know, especially this Friday night as the moon is connecting with Mars, Chiron, Uranus, it can bring up that feeling of like, we're not where we want to be yet, and we just want to be there already. But start saying yes to the world. Start looking for the beautiful things, and you'll start to notice them more. It's like when you start seeing angel numbers, and then you start to see them everywhere because your brain wants to feel good. It wants to see more of those positive reinforcements. So yes, it is the universe, I believe, sending you messages, but it's also you being more open to seeing those messages. All right, our Saturday card is the Knight of Pentacles. And what does the Knight of Pentacles have for us on Saturday? The Knight is solid, dependable, and obviously has a serious work ethic. Okay, Venus square Saturn. They have no problem keeping their head down and getting the work done, and they'll do it perfectly. Their attention to detail and their ability to deliver is admirable. If the Knight is you, it really does feel like me, I'm going to say. If the Knight is you, it's time to toil away and get shit done on Saturday. Okay. It's going to take long, hard work, but you will probably find some enjoyment and satisfaction in the process. So, you know, this Saturday morning, when we're really in the midst of that square between Venus and Saturn, even in relationships, it could feel like you're doing some hard work. The moon forms a conjunction to Saturn on Saturday morning, and it could just feel like, okay, these are the duties and responsibilities I have ahead of me today, this weekend. And you know, this card is reminding us, the Knight of Pentacles, that like we can get shit done. We can learn the lessons. We can do hard things and we can do them well. That's the Knight of Pentacles for us, giving us that serious work ethic. And like, I think this will really help us, actually, this card, in relationships, because anybody who has been in a relationship, or who even just knows a thing or two about relationships, it's like relationships require hard work, you know, and we could really feel that on Saturday morning. But also by the end of the day, we can let go of that a little bit and just appreciate our hard work and just be in the flow. But I think Saturday morning, if you have to get anything done, this is the time, and this is what this card is telling us. Okay, and finally, our Sunday card, the Empress. Look at her. Isn't she gorgeous? We love her. If this isn't a perfect card for the Pisces moon, okay, here's what it says. Love is everything. Like, I could just leave it at that, but I'm not going to. Love is everything. The Empress is feeling herself. This benevolent goddess is alive and truly connected to the world and others through passion and pure emotions. Pisces, hello. The Empress is empowered by her love and sexuality, and her energy flows through everything around her. She gives life to the lush vegetation and receives life from the powerful river. She welcomes pleasure and feelings and fills each moment with ecstasy. Think less, feel more. Embrace self-love and use that self-love to build stronger and more profound connections to family, friends, or lovers. Be fulfilled by your social circles of those who love you. Drink from the cup of love. Allow it to nourish and warm you. Through love, you can find deep meaning and fulfillment. Love, love, love. It's all here for you if you let it in. Speaking of love, I love that we end the weekend on this hopeful, beautiful, positive note. Yes, you might be feeling a little stuck, a little disappointed, a little down on Friday or even Saturday. It could feel like you have a lot of obligations or duties, or you're doing a lot of hard work. It's not coming easily. There's a lot of lessons we're learning, but by Sunday, it's all love. It's all hope. It's all beauty. And not only can we feel more love for ourselves and accept love more easily, but we can put out that energy of love, setting us up for a really beautiful experience next week. So if the next couple days feel a little bit tense, that's to be expected. It's okay. Just know that Pisces moon, that beautiful energy, even on Saturday night when Venus forms a sextile to Neptune, we'll still be feeling that on Sunday as well. A really beautiful, creative, loving energy we're working with all day on Sunday. And by the end of the day, Sunday, it's like we can take all that love and get excited about what we can do with it in the week ahead as the moon connects to Uranus. That Friday card, I felt the I'm over it. I know, I wish you can't see. Oh, you can kind of see. But her sweatshirt literally says, I'm over it. And she's like crossing her arms. She's like, this is not fun anymore. You can tell. And even the Knight of Pentacles, it's like she's holding the pentacle like, okay, these are all the things I have to do. These are the lessons I'm learning. I can do it. I can do it well. I can do the hard work, but not fun. But then you see the Empress and she's just like, she's a boss bitch. She's like, I'm love. Trust the universe and flow with it. That is the Empress card, Ken. My 5-year-old daughter has a lot of Pisces placements. Oh, I'm excited about this for our relationship. There's been a lot of power struggles. I think that your daughter will likely be feeling herself. She'll be the Empress in your house for sure if she has a lot of Pisces placements this Saturday night into Sunday. And you could probably expect her to feel a little bit more loving and maybe even clingy, you know, but not in a bad way. Just, I would say as a mama, like, embrace that love from her while you have it. She probably has a lot of big feelings, which makes sense that there's some power struggles there. But I think this weekend she's going to enjoy the energy. We got this. Yes. Let's go. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. This is actual. But seriously, Heather, I thought of you when I pulled this card. I'm like, you've been waiting for weeks. She's like, you can't. She's crossing her arms. She's like, I am ready for a freaking answer. Love all of this commentary back and forth between all of you. All right, everyone, that is our weekend forecast. So, what are we saying? My girl is a Cancer sun, Aries. I'm a Virgo sun, Sagittarius moon. Okay, you both have fire moons. Let me just say that. That could be some very passionate emotional connection between you. Cancer and Virgo form a supportive angle to each other. So she's probably very nurturing while you might be a little bit more particular. I'm a Virgo sun too. You might be a little bit more like, this is what we need to do and this is how we need to do it. And your girl's probably like, it's okay. Let's just have a nice home. Let me make you a nice meal. It's all good. Let me nurture you, and you're like, no, this has to be done this way. But your fire moon both of your fire moons keep things fun. All right. I'm going to go now, get my weekend started. But thank you all for being here, for supporting each other, for showing up for yourself today. I appreciate you so much. I love starting my days with you. And if you found this video helpful, if you're new here, please go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. We're getting closer and closer every day to 1,000 subscribers so we can finally start monetizing these videos and keep this content coming to you for free every single day. I will be back next Monday as we talk about the final quarter moon next week. Let's see, are there any other major transits I can clue you in on that we'll be talking about next week? Let me see here. Mercury will form a sextile to Jupiter on Monday, so that's a positive transit. Good thoughts on Monday, definitely. Venus will trine Pluto on the summer solstice. We'll be talking a lot about the summer solstice next Tuesday. Cancer season begins, so a lot of energy shifts coming up next week, and they feel very positive and exciting. Lots of positive transformations happening right now. So get excited for it. Lean into that hope, faith, trust through difficult moments over the next couple days, and know that that Pisces energy is coming in and we'll all feel more loving by Sunday. I love you all. I'm grateful for all of you. I hope you have the most beautiful weekend. And until Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.